hello, you beautiful people. Another beautiful day or night. Yeah, what's good? I found a nice little article today. Listen to this. So, listen to this. It's on Gamers Rant. It says Gotham Knight is the closest we're getting to a Batman game for some time. I got one problem with this title. Not if Rocksteady got something to say about that, okay? But we already know that Rocksteady's working on Suicide Squad Killer Justice League. So, all hope is not lost when it comes to Gotham Knight. But anyway, it says here the Batman Arkham series was a triumph of comic-based games. But Gotham Knights might be the closest thing to a similar experience for a while. It says here the recent wave of successful comic books video games that are more than cheap movies tie-ins can be traced back to one character in particular, Batman. The Cape Crusader escapes in Batman Arkham series are not only fantastic comic book games, but they single-handedly ushered in a new era for industry where superhero games actually became a viable option for development. Although the series has now come to an end, the proverbial torch of Batman games is now being passed to Gotham Knights. While Gotham Knight is very much set in a world occupied by Batman's colorful cast of characters, it's a very different world from Batman Arkham series. The game is not actually connected to Batman Arkham. On top of that, trailers have made it clear that Batman is dead at the game's start. While this may just seem like a dramatic way of setting up the game's story, Gotham Knights also seems to make it clear that fans won't be getting another solo Batman game for quite a while. Not if Rocksteady got something to say about that. Okay? Anyway, although this may be disappointing to some, this could be some legitimate reason behind it. Then it says here, the video game industry nowadays is frequently held up by the strength of various sequels across multiple franchises. While this trend has sustained many of its best franchises over the years, there are times where a series can experience some burnout over the years. Many gamers have expressed displeasure over this sort of thing with games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed in the past, and it's possible that Warner Brothers could be trying to avoid the same fate with Gotham Knight. While the game is certainly Batman adjacent, its co-op style and Bat Family centered story should be enough to keep things from seeming too repetitive. And then it says here, a tough act to follow for Gotham Knights. Okay, you say the success of Batman Arkham series really cannot be overstated. The game combined crisp combat with excellent storytelling to make an overall unforgettable experience, and it's hard to find a series of comic-based games that compares to its level of quality. The series ended in a rather definitive way, with Bruce Wayne having his identity revealed and subsequently dying at the end of Arkham Knight. The Arkham franchise is held in such high esteem that trying to follow up on it with a similar Batman game would be a tall task. Gotham Knights benefit from being different enough that it shouldn't draw too many direct comparisons. And says here, Gotham Knights, time for other eras to shine. Batman may arguably be the best DC biggest superhero, but the company has a plethora of different heroes that deserve their chance in the video game spotlight. Eventually, Gotham Knights is taking a calculated risk by giving players a game dedicated to Batman line of sidekicks. These characters never would have helmed their own 10 years ago, but after increased popularity among the fan base and a good foundation laid by Batman Arkham, they now have a legitimate chance. The same sentiment is being shown by Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, giving DC band of misfits some time to shine. And then last paragraph it says, as disappointing as it may be for Batman fans, Gotham Knights is probably going to be the next best thing to a Batman game for a while. Not if Rocksteady got something to say about it. But anyway, the world's greatest detective, possibly the best series of game a comic book character could possibly get, and now it's time to pass the success on to other heroes to see if they can share in Batman Arkham achievement. Batman fans can find some solace in the fact that they can have a Batman game-like experience once again in Gotham Knights, but it might be time to accept that there won't be another solo game until other DC heroes get their shot at a video game adaptation. Alright, that's the end of the article. So it says here, Gotham Knights is the closest we're getting to a Batman game for some time. Alright. Not if, like I said before, not if Rocksteady got something to say about that. Okay, so you're taking Batman, the entire Gotham City, the entire Batman series is based off Bruce Wayne. Batman, period. But he died, so you're taking him out the picture, and now you're giving the four characters of the Batman family time to shine. See, WB Games, don't want to pull a CD Projekt Red with Gotham Knights, so they're under pressure right now. Trying to bring this game to the light, and also trying to build trying to make a great game to fall in line with the other 4 Batman games, from Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, and Night. So they're under pressure right now, and you took Batman out of the picture, but now you got Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, and now you have to have the game is going to come down. The game is going to come down to one thing: execution. Execution meaning that you have a good story. Execution meaning that the gameplay is there. Of course the graphics is going to be there, but what's the point of having good graphics if you ain't got a good story and a good gameplay to go with it? And that's the pressure that Gotham Knights is under, because we played 4 good we just played four really good Batman games: Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, and Night, and each one of them left a mark. So the pressure is really on now with WB Games trying to deliver with this game, and then you're trying to build a game off Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl. So execution is key, and the story has to be on point, because if the story's messed up, then the gameplay is going to be affected. So everything about Gotham Knights evolves around the story. The story has to be 100% accurate. If it's not, everything is going to fall apart. Because once you have a good story, once you got a good story in a game, then the gameplay follows, and then graphics, music, dialogue, everything else falls into play. Everything is based off the story, and then because remember, you remove the entire Gotham City. Batman is based off is all around Bruce Wayne, but you remove him from the picture, so now Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin, time for them to get their shine. But this game got to have a good story, so this is why WB Games right now is in the dark, because they're working real hard trying to deliver on this game. And yes, a lot of DC comic fans wherever they are in the world, are waiting on this game. You know, sitting there waiting, counting the days, hours, seconds, minutes away for when this game gets released. But when it gets released, the critics are coming out in droves because they're gonna compare. They're gonna compare this game to the last four. So WB Games now really have to execute on this. You know, because if the story is off, man, they will mess the gameplay up. You know, so they're gonna have to. They have to build a real good story with these four. I mean, yeah, WB Games, they got experience with Batman Arkham Origins, gave them some experience, but now you don't have Bruce Wayne to build a story around anymore. You're using Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl, and you're gonna have to build a good story, and then other questions gonna come into play, like, okay, is Alfred gonna be playable? What about Commissioner Gordon? So they got are they gonna be DLC characters where you can play as them and go from there? So right now, WB Games got their hands full, you know. But as far as the title goes, saying that Gotham Knights is the closest Gotham Knights is the closest we're going. No, Gotham Knights is the closest we're getting to a Batman game for some time. That's not true. You know, because Rocksteady can make a Batman game if they want to. The question is, are they up to it? So all is not lost when it comes to where Bruce Wayne being the main protagonist in a Batman game. All is not lost, you know. You know, it's just that WB Games is building a game based off the four main characters so they can get their spotlight and they can get their shine. Yeah, they were playable in Arkham Knight, probably Arkham City, you know. But now they're gonna make sure that these four characters get their spotlight and their shine. So they're under pressure, you know. They're under pressure, you know. They're under real pressure right now, intense pressure, trying to deliver on this game, you know, trying to build a good story, around these four characters, you know, and then trying to work out the details as far as like gameplay, mechanics, everything, you know, how the characters perform in the game and all that. So, you know, and it's a tough task that they got at hand. But is Gotham Knights is Gotham Knights the end of the the end of Batman? No. They can like I said before, Rocksteady can make a Batman game if they want to. You know what I'm saying, they're just giving WB Games their shine because WB Games want to go down this road with the four main characters so they can get their spotlight, and then bring other characters from the Batman universe to let them get their spotlight, because the Batman universe got a lot of character helpers, and then they got a lot of villains, you know, that don't get their shine in video games. So it's gonna be interesting to see how WB Games pull this game off. It's gonna be real good. It's gonna be really interesting. But all is not lost, you know, and a lot of fans are looking forward to this game, you know. So you best believe that WB Games is really hitting the pavement hard, trying to make sure they deliver, man, because they know what's at stake, man. WB Games know what's at stake. So yeah, this game right now, Gotham Knights, me personally, I'm looking forward to it too, to see how they do, you know. But the last four Batman games that we just played, you know, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, Arkham Knights, and even the Black Gate series, you know, those were really good games. You know, those were really good games, and if you paid attention to each one of those games, you see the amount of work that it took the amount of work that it took to get each game where it needed to be. So imagine the amount of work that WB Games is facing right now, trying to get Gotham Knights where it needs to be. Just like how WB Games did with Arkham Origins, and just like how Rocksteady did with Arkham Asylum City and Arkham Knight. That's a lot of work, man, when you really look at those games. If you really look at the work that they put into those games, each one of them, you will know what WB Games is up against. So I believe they're going to deliver. But everything about Gotham Knights centers around that story. The story has to be 100% on point. Because if the story is off by any means, it will show in the game, and they probably dropped the game down a notch. So they're hard at work, man. But I gotta give my hats off to them. I know they're hitting the pavement hard, but we'll see what they do. But other than that, man, all is not lost, man, when it comes to Batman games. All is not lost. I think WB Games want to give other characters and villains their shine with this game, and I think that's what they're aiming for right now. So my hats off to them. But other than that, plenty to look forward to with this game, with Gotham Knights. And I hope I have an Xbox Series X by then, so I can enjoy the game, man. So yeah, Gotham Knights, man, it's gonna be fun, man. I mean, based on the picture shots and a little video clip that was already made, you can see that there's a lot of work. They got their work cut out for them, And the game might be bigger too. The game might be big. The game's probably gonna be bigger than Arkham Knight. That's another thing too. The game's gonna be bigger than Arkham Knight. So yeah, because remember, Arkham Knight, you're just using Batman. But Gotham Knights, you're using 4 characters now, so yeah, it's gonna be a big game, man. And the amount, like I said, if you look at all the last 4 games that was made, you could imagine the amount of work that WB Games is facing right now, the amount of work that they got to put in to get this game accurate. So yeah, the game is going to be a big game and a lot to look forward to. But as far as this being the closest thing to a Batman game for some time, come on now. That statement is not true. So, but Gotham Knights look promising, and I hope WB Games deliver on this. I mean, they're using the power of the Xbox Series X and PS5, so yeah, they got some powerful hardware to work with. So we'll see what they do when the game comes out. But right now, they got their hands full right now, trying to execute. Execution is key in all this with this game. So we'll see what they do. Other than that, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box with this article. But nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side. Come on. Peace.